You say rules means someone gets in trouble. What I like to say is values. Like a value is if I don't pay my rent on time, I don't live in a home. So if you don't show up to rehearsal,
that's not a rule, you know, like
yeah, like
that's a way of life.
It's a rule, but for like the normal person, if you don't pay rent, you don't live in that home. I love those kids like I would love my own daughter,
yeah,
or my own son. So
and we also treat them like that,
yeah,
like
and that's why you go to mechanics. Some mechanics will rip you off, and other mechanics will isolate the issue and find a solution for cheap.
Same thing for directors.
Like, okay, so I get asked all the time, Troy, why don't you do an adult team again? High profile was so much fun. You would do great as an adult team director. And yes, I do think
you started as an adult team director.
Yeah, it's not something that's ever like really left my heart or my brain. Like, comment,
all right,
subscribe.
Let's go get sushi.
Oh yeah, we're getting sushi. And we're back. We're back.
This is episode 4. Last time we talked about like traveling tips for choreographers or people that want to become a traveling choreographer, and I think that was lots of useful.
Sorry, just making sure it's recording. We're good.
I think there was a lot of useful information in that, and we said that we would like kind of shift into culture, talking about culture of your team as a coach, as a choreographer, and also as just being a leader in that aspect.
That's a tough, it feels like it, I don't know, for us it feels very like natural because we've been doing it for so long, but oftentimes I see a lot of things that like hurt the culture of a team that takes it down like this really bad path.
Yeah.
And I if I'm choreographing for the team, I can't really like call it out, but I could tell the coach. But for our teams, these are things that like are fundamental to the why of what we do.
Yeah.
And it helps to like know why we do what we do. Like we what I don't like to call them is like rules per se. You know what I mean? Like when you say rules, it means someone gets in trouble. What I like to say is values. Like
and holding people accountable to that and not being like a slap on the wrist because you did something wrong.
Right. When you say it's rules, like people take it like I'm being told to do something because XYZ. But like a value is if I don't pay my rent on time, I don't live in a home.
Yeah.
So if you don't show up to rehearsal,
that's not a rule, you know, like
yeah, like
that's a way of life.
It's a rule, but for like the normal person, if you don't pay rent, you don't live in that home. So same thing for our values or our rules is things that, well, if you talk to someone this way, you're gonna get this out at the end of it.
Yeah.
And that's really where our culture stems from. Is it's not a bunch of rules that we just abide by. These are just values that we want to uphold in our teams full time.
And I often see a lot of like coaches and leaders asking like team building, how do I
It's okay, keep talking.
how do I create a culture? How do I do this? How do I do that? And most of the time I just say you just can't fake it.
Yeah.
I've said it before, but like you can't fake a culture. You can't force people to hang out and be a unit and just go hang out after practice every day. Like it'll happen naturally, and I always say it always flows from the head down.
Yeah.
And if you and I are cultivating that, like, oh, let's all go hang out, let's do this together, let's do that together, they're all gonna want to do things together.
I think it starts with, you're right, it starts with the head. The person who is leading the group has to have every intention of making sure.
Yeah, like it says, lead with love.
Yeah, the first point in our notes is lead with love. Like if, I forget which podcast, but we talked about it before, is I love those kids like I would love my own daughter.
Yeah.
Or my own son. And so.
And we also treat them like that. Like I just got through a class yesterday where we were doing that imposter syndrome exercise that Bree taught us. And one thing that resonated with me that they said about me was that I know how to be a coach, and I know how to be a mother, and I know how to be a friend to them. So there's one thing of me to be like, dude, what are you doing? This isn't even full out. Are you joking? And then the next I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, how was your day today?
It's different hats.
Yeah.
Different hats for different emotions.
Yeah.
We kind of tie in that to later, but you're right. You because you wear different hats, each one has a different way of loving the person.
Yeah.
In that sense, like if you need to be the mother figure, you love them as a mother figure. If you need to be a director, you love them as a director figure. If you want to love them as a friend, you love them as a friend figure. Like,
Yeah.
and we have to be able to switch those hats.
And they know our humor. Like if I'm sarcastic with them and I'm just joking around, that's me being their friend.
Yeah.
If I'm very loving and like Sky got hurt yesterday. Like they were doing.
Oh yeah.
They were doing a trick and she like hit her nose and her forehead. That's me being a mother. I'm like, are you okay? Do you need water? Get a snack. You haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Eat a snack.
Janelle never eats.
Well,
we got to keep reminding her.
Sky didn't eat yesterday, so I was like, Maddie said, can I go get her a snack? I was like, yeah, go,
Please.
whatever.
And I think to add to that, lead with love. It's lead with selfless love.
Yeah.
Because
There's a difference.
there's a difference. Like loving someone because you expect something back from them is not really love. Like you love them because of them through their good and their bad.
Yeah.
And that's probably the hardest part is to love selflessly. And I tie it back to our faith because we are Christians.
Yeah.
We go to church and we serve a selfless God that loves us despite all of our sins. Same thing with how we do our best to lead like that is love selflessly no matter the hurt that they could inflict on us or have not, but don't understand how to talk about their hurt.
Yeah.
It starts from the top, and for us, culture is a love lesson of learning how to love people the way they want to be loved, and then teach them dance, choreography, coaching, directing in the way that is best for them and for the team. I think that what this kind of like leads to is every person matters. Like every person in a sense has like it doesn't matter the position they play on the field. Like if they're back right of the whole routine or if they're front and center of the whole routine,
it's a unit.
The role on the team is important, valuable. And just because this person can do back tucks and this person cannot doesn't make them any more or less valuable of a person. Let's not even talk talent. Let's just talk people on our team. It's
you
the
can
value
be you can be
person.
the most talented on the floor but have a terrible personality, or you can be not the most talented on the floor but be the best person for the culture of the team and just wanting to be around them.
Yeah, I use the car reference a lot. Like tires have lug nuts on it, or like just a little.
It's a funny word.
Lug nut.
Reminds me of Mater.
Like there's just a little bolt that keeps the tire connected to the car, and if we're missing just one of those, who knows what could happen to the car?
Yeah, exactly.
You're missing like those little pins in I don't even know. There's so many little pieces on a car that if one were to chip away, the whole car doesn't function.
Yeah, it'll start like deteriorating and.
Yeah, same thing with the dance team. Like if the one person isn't doing its portion, the team falls apart.
Yeah.
And no matter how big, if it's not the steering wheel or the windshield or the engine, maybe it's just this one bolt. And if that one bolt comes undone, the whole team kind of falls apart. So it's not really the size or the size of the tool that matters or the person. It's their role on the team. And every person needs to matter at that point, because if you're not caring about every person on the floor, you probably shouldn't be directing them.
But on the opposite of that, if there's a, what is it called when you get like something in your tire? If there's a nail in your tire, that's on the opposite of like every person matters. But there's also nails in your tire every now and then, and like a toxic person or somebody that like shouldn't be on the team or isn't like good for the culture of the team. Us as directors have to know how to
switch a tire.
Yeah, how to differentiate that, how to recognize that, and realize that we need to get that tire out and get a replacement.
We're a mechanic.
So that the car works again.
Yeah, and that's why you go to mechanics. Some mechanics will rip you off, and other mechanics will isolate the issue and find a solution for cheap.
Same thing for directors and coaches.
We find a solution, we isolate it, and we
Yeah. So just as much as every person matters to the car functioning, there are going to be those nails in your tire every now and then, and you're going to have to get rid of it.
My advice to anyone that's trying to like find it, if there's a problem like drama or issues within a team, there's you have to isolate the situation and narrow it down, boil it all the way down to the real issue. And most times it'll weed itself out, but if not, find your issue and resolve it quickly, because the longer that issue lasts, the more damage you do to the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, like, okay, so I get asked all the time, Troy, why don't you do an adult team again? High profile was so much fun. You would do great as an adult team director. And yes, I do think...
You started as an adult team director.
Yeah, it's not something that's ever like really left my like heart or my brain. Like, since it gets asked all the time.
Yeah, like, of course, I would love an adult team. I would love to be part of one again. I would love to
train and grow.
Yeah, and just have like that group of friends. But it's just with what we went through over the last over the last 10 years per se. Just like the transition out of that into owning a studio, into just doing playground is... Like, that's our testimony, and we have come so far with doing what we do now. We're better leaders. I say I'm a better leader than I am a teammate.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not knocking myself as a teammate, but I would rather lead the room than be...
useless as a teammate.
Yeah, because sometimes I, like, all the knowledge that I have, if I'm under somebody... I'm going to just want to, like...
do it your way.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you're under somebody. Yeah, it's tough. And I think more how I feel about the situation, about not creating another adult team, is I don't want to give half of myself to anything. Like...
we're already spread so thin.
Yeah. I don't want to... Like, people depend on you as a director. And if I don't work as hard as I would for something else, or have the time to work as hard for something else, those people that are under me don't deserve me as a leader. And I'm not going to give anything less than 100% of myself to a thing. And currently there's no space for me to be adding
both boys starting school this year. We have teams that we run. We have choreo that we do. We have family to take care of and go on trips with. Like, we always have to make time for family. And
that's the number one reason, is I don't want to give less than 100% of myself to people that rely on me, but I can't meet their demands. And that is my biggest fear, especially even now, because we are getting busy, and there's a lot of like dancers here in Las Vegas that I won't tend to full time because I am traveling. But we have a solid foundation here in Las Vegas that me being away for a couple weeks here and there isn't detrimental to our program. But to start a whole adult team, weekly rehearsals, to train,
it's just not possible, especially we have 2 young kids, and most adult teams practice late at night. Like, we used to practice 9 to 11, 9 to midnight on a good day.
I'd be down for that, but our kids absolutely wouldn't allow it.
No, and it's just... we have to think of Daniel and Joven first in all of this, and that's why, like, we're at the point where, in us as parents, we have to count the cost of all these, like, trips that we go on. Like, we were just talking about it earlier. If we go out of the country, Daniel might have to stay here to
be in school,
to go to school. And luckily, I have an amazing dad who lives with us, who is willing to take him to school every day, do his homework, and
that's something people won't understand, is the price that you have to pay at that too. Is we do want to like soar a little bit, you and I, like as choreographers, we do want to spread our wings. We want to be influential, impactful, travel the world, but reality sets in, and we have to make tough decisions like that. And I think people see us as like, oh, they're just traveling, and oh my gosh, they live such a perfect life, but it comes with very difficult decisions like this one.
And not only that, like when people see us traveling and this and that, it's also like we can't do no wrong, Like, why are they not here? Why are they not here for us? Why are they Why are they always out of town? Why are they always at Disneyland?
That's the common complaint I got when I was the director of an adult team is when I would try to take time for myself, I automatically, like the team would feel like I was neglecting, or, you know, like I booked a really big job, like one of my dream jobs. I still call it my dream job to this day. And no one was really happy for me. They were more like, why can't you take care of us? And I don't want to go through that again because, sure, I want to like travel the world, see everything, but reality sets in, and if I'm giving all of myself to everyone else, what is left for me and my family and for you?
And that's just the selfish side of dance, is that like they expect dancers that we've worked with in the past, like expect us as directors and as leaders to be 100% on the ball, ready for them. But when they go out of town or when they get an opportunity, like it's okay.
We're their biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah, of course. And of course I'm going to be their biggest cheerleaders, but like where is that when...
Yeah, flip the table a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
And luckily we don't deal with that anymore. Like all of our parents nowadays, our family, like people that we work with, they're all very supportive of us. And all the choreographers we work with closely in like the agency, they're all very supportive. They share our things on their Instagram stories. They
nice.
comment, and all of that support matters. And I feel like that's what we want to be to other people as well. That's what we want to be to our dancers, so that they can learn what it means to honor people and to
honor people.
Yeah, and that's part of the culture.
I think the difficult thing is for people to understand is that we are humans too.
Yeah.
I think because we stand in the front of the room and because we hold ourselves to a certain standard, that we aren't humans. Like we're just punching bags or just.
We're just supposed to be a certain way.
It has to be this way because you've done it for so long, Troy. What's new? Like it's so easy because you make it look easy. When in reality, we're very much human. The weight of leadership is heavy. Just because we carry it light doesn't mean that it makes it any less heavy. We carry it further because things like what we're going to explain today is why we do it. Is like it's not a have to, it's a get to.
Yeah.
We lead with love. When you love the person across from you, it's very easy to carry the weight, as opposed to if it's a dreadful situation or you're not enjoying the process or you don't want to be a part of the process, you moan and groan about it all the time, you're complaining. You have to do this for the team and you have to be here for this. It's like, well, then I don't think you're deserving of being a leader. You don't have to. You don't have to. We get to. You and I. We get to lead a bunch of amazing dancers on Playground.
I'll take this. Like we say this all the time. I'll take this over sitting in an office 8 hours a day, which is what I used to do before, and answer phones, or standing at a front desk and talking to drunk people on the Las Vegas Strip, like checking them into their hotel. That's what I originally aspired to be, and like now I don't see myself going back to that unless dance completely flops.
Yeah, I don't even think I'll ever go back. If I break my knee or something and I'm, God forbid something happens.
You could be like Abby Lee and
teach. I could do videos like this and just.
No, you could teach in a wheelchair.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, nah. I think to like button that is like the reason why we are successful is because one, we allow ourselves to be selfish because we replenish, we refill our cups. But two, we also give strength to others to help carry this weight.
Yeah.
It's a training exercise. It's a learning opportunity for them to, one, learn what it is to feel like to have the pressure of choreography and leading a group, just on the demanding side, like on the actual choreography stage. And another, to teach people how to lead people. Yeah, and you cannot faithfully give 100% of yourself to however many dancers. I think we're pushing almost 180, 150.
We'll have probably about 60 competitive kids, but like
overall the whole program.
It's competitive on PG, but we work with like hundreds, like within Evolve and all of our choreo jobs. Yeah, so we come across a lot of dancers in a season.
And what I try to do at least is I cannot faithfully lead all of them individually. Like I can't one-to-one mentor every single one of them. So what I'll do is I'll give a piece of what I like to do, and I'll let those people go. So if I have 100 dancers, I'll faithfully give a lot of myself training-wise to 10 of them so that those 10 can influence the others. They can influence their 10 and then influence their 10. And a 10 could be a coach. If you influence how a coach feels, how they act, how they feel, that will spread through their dancers.
To their own team.
For Playground, I put people in charge, not because I don't want to do it, but because I can't be doing it forever. I allow them to learn on the spot. Obviously, we're a support beam here. Like if they were to fall, we would catch them in our net. But we let them choreograph. We let them.
Yeah, and we've
block.
done that. When Devin was teaching, I'm sure you kind of had to chime in a little bit because she's learning and she's 12 years old, but killing it.
How else are they supposed to learn?
Exactly.
If I do it for them all the time, they'll never learn what it feels like to have that kind of weight. And I can't be mad at them when they mess up, when they fail, because they're going to.
Yeah.
If you do it the first time right, you're like a god. There's no way.
You're
the only way
world.
that I am as good as I am at anything that I do is because I failed at it 100 times more than anyone else in the room. And that's why I can faithfully stand in front of I have a 2-minute routine that I have to choreograph and have ready to be put on stage tomorrow. No, not put on stage. To be taught tomorrow. Am I prepared? No. Am I stressed? No. Because I failed 100 times before this.
If this was our first season, just going to a random team and just putting a routine on them, we've never met them before, then I was stressed our first season.
But I'm not, because I know I can get it done because I've failed enough times and I have enough planning done in my brain to make this seamless. And same thing with dancers. The only way you get really good at a thing is you just do more of that thing. You can't replicate time and effort. If you want to be successful at any of those things, you have to give, like I said, 100% of yourself to that thing and the investment, time, and energy to make that thing happen. And that's what I'm trying to provide to everyone that comes in contact with me in any leadership form. If they want to be great at something, I let them fail at it.
Yeah.
And then I go, no, trust me, you're doing okay. Here, let's walk back on this line. No, come back over here. We're walking this line.
Yeah. It's like talking to our kids.
You have to allow them.
Joven.
You have to allow them to fail, because if they don't fail, they'll never learn. Yeah. They'll never learn, and they'll just get this ego about themselves. Oh, because they allowed Troy and Marisa to do it, and I just coattailed that.
Yeah.
So I allow dancers to fail frequently.
That's why, I've told you, I never in a million years, 10 years ago, if you told me I was going to be a choreographer today, I wasn't even a director 10 years ago. I was like the travel agent for HP, you remember?
Yeah.
But I was never leading rehearsals. I barely choreographed. I hated submissions. And now now the fact that I love doing submissions and I love implementing that to our kids, now they love doing it.
Yep.
And like I said, if my directors, including you, never gave me a chance to fail at it, right?
Yeah.
To not be the best director, not be the best choreographer, where would I be today?
Yeah.
Probably still working in hotels.
And if I didn't encourage you and help coach you through it, you wouldn't know what your potential was. And I think people expect like myself as a dancer, I expect to be good right away. And it never happens that way. And you got to be patient with your own growth. But if you want a thing, you have to do more of it.
That's why, I'm going to use Devin as an example again. She wanted to choreograph, right, with you in your privates a couple weeks ago. She wanted to help you, or you might have just asked her to help you or whatever.
No, the conversation was, hey, are you choreographing that part? I was like, I plan on doing it tonight or tomorrow. She's like, can I help you? I was like, are you sure? She's like, yes. And then so I let her guide the movement and I controlled the room. Yeah,
so if, I love that because Devin probably doesn't realize now that she's always going to look back on this moment. And her parents know it too. Mm-hmm. They're always going to look back on this and be like, that was her first time choreographing something and putting it it's going to be in our concert set.
Yep.
That's cool. And she's already showing qualities of being a great choreographer. Now she just needs to
learn how to teach it.
learn how to command the room and Granted, she's only 12,
She's 12.
and
She's fine. She
everyone
got flames.
flames her on the team, so she's always going to get made fun of, but at least she throws it back at them. All the older girls, like Genesis and them.
I think that's a skill set too. It's controlling a room.
Yes.
Like controlling a conversation or controlling a room is a skill set that is not easy to teach, because it takes a little bit of confidence and a little bit of knowledge in what you're talking about. Because if you don't know what you're talking about, you're going to look like stupid up front. But if you don't have confidence, you can't control the room.
Exactly.
And so one, you have to be knowledgeable, and two, you have to be confident. And yeah.
And three, I feel like being a mom helps.
Oh, because you just yell at.
Well, like if they're like running around and being crazy, I'm like, That's all I say. Like, hey.
Well, you're leading with love too.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're trying to prevent them from doing something wrong, because imagine if they were doing that in public. And now not only is it a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them.
Yeah.
So this is where it ties right back to our first point, is if we're scolding or using a teaching moment to a child or a dancer, it's leading with love.
Yeah.
We're trying to prevent them from, I don't know, going to an audition and start screaming out loud because they wanted a result that they didn't get.
Remember when we did the minis and petites showcase and they were all screaming at the top of their lungs? Yeah. And I got like upset with them.
Yeah, that's
not upset. Like I was like, my mom voice came on. I was like, you do not need to scream bloody murder right now.
Yeah.
You can cheer and be like, hey, let's go. Yeah, but you don't need that high pitched scream.
Yeah, the kids scream.
That's teaching like proper etiquette for like conventions and bigger master classes when we go out of town, when we go to Chaos.
Yeah, support your friends, but like you don't need to scream.
And they got in trouble with that at competition too. Because like the judges can't hear. Like when I'm judging and people are screaming in my ear, it hurts. Like I have to be like, and then my microphone's in this hand. Or I put my mic on the stand and I'm like this. Yeah. But it's just teaching them how to act, how to behave in public, in an audition, in a class, in a convention.
Yeah, it's a teaching moment. Allow them to fail and teach them.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep. I think that's like, a part of that is, I don't know. Sometimes I always like, it can be very selfish of us to, what do I mean? It can be very selfish of us to say like, this is how you're supposed to do it because, right? Kind of ties back to like the rules and values thing. Like that's an example is we're setting a rule. You don't scream at the top of your lungs because the value is you would, if you're at an audition, you do that, you look like a
you probably won't get booked or you won't get a scholarship.
And I think that on a more important portion of that is like you have to do what is right, you want to do what is right. You don't want to be right. Yeah,
just because you want to be right doesn't mean like what you're saying is actually the morally correct thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I might want to have everyone wear all black for a costume. I want, Troy.
Okay.
I want all black.
But the theme is like sunshine and rainbows.
So there's one chance I want to be right because I believe that black is the better color.
But if you look out, But if you look out, if I'm an audience member and I see that, I'm like, why are they wearing all black? This looks dumb.
Yeah, and so this is in general. I'm not trying to be the most right. I'm trying to do the most right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, 95% of those decisions aren't selfish. They are in fact in betterment of the team. I don't make those decisions because I want them to be. I don't want to make those decisions because I choose them to be. I'm making those decisions because it's what's best for everyone. And mostly everyone. Yeah, I'm tired too. Drink more coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make a decision because I feel like I'm the most correct.
Yeah.
I want to make the decision because it is what's right for everyone on the team. And this can get really convoluted because a lot of directors, coaches, leaders, whatever you have, will make selfish decisions because that's what they want.
It's what they want, yeah.
When in fact, you might hurt the team because you want to be selfish in that moment. And that's not a bad thing. As coaches, we should be taking care of our emotions, our what we want out of this. Because at the end of the day, this is like, we do a portion of this for us.
Yeah.
So there should be some kind of like validity in those feelings, but when it comes.
But they're the ones dancing. So like, if I choose a costume for my minis, for example, like their costume this upcoming year is going to be pretty cute.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I'm not going to choose it because that's what I want to wear, because I'm not the one wearing it.
Yeah.
They're the ones wearing it. So
Right.
all the decisions I make for all the dancers that I come in contact with is like, would they look cool in it? Would they look intimidating? Because at a competition, you want to look intimidating.
Yeah.
And like, you want to look intimidating, but then when other dancers approach you, you want to be really nice.
I think the best point of this is, I said I wanted to wear denim for a performance. I was like, oh, I like the look of that denim outfit. That would be super cool. And then you go, how are they going to dance in that? And I go, you're right.
Yeah.
In my head, I want to be right. I want to be like, I want an all denim outfit because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Denim, black, white, maybe paint all over it. It looks cool. And then you go practical, like, but how are they going to dance in that? I go, yeah,
And there's
right.
there's different avenues. So if we're talking a competition costume, they have tricks, they have lifts. Like, it has to be more like movable, I guess you could say. But not to say it's not a bad idea for like open forum.
Right.
And they could put together their own costume.
But as a director, I wanted that.
Yeah.
I am being
Doesn't
selfish.
mean it's right though.
I wanted that because I want to be right. I don't want your decision not to be wrong. I just want to be right.
Exactly.
But what's right for the team it takes precedence over my wants.
Exactly.
I am a servant to dancers and the team that I serve.
Yeah.
Coaches, when I choreograph for them, I am a servant to them. If they need something, I'm stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm giving too much, I step back.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, leaders, coaches, dancers will think that they just want to be right rather than doing what is right for the team. Another asterisk on that, or like a little sub thing as like not do right, is I never make a decision when I'm like super emotional. That's any emotion: mad, sad, angry, happy.
Like, I'm so happy today.
Disgusted.
Let's all go to.
Yeah.
Let's all get all you can eat sushi, and I'm paying for all 45 of our dancers.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna do that because realistically, I can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side of things, someone pissed me off. I'm not gonna be like,
You're off the team.
Yeah.
You're gone. I don't even want to deal with you anymore. Go away.
and that was their first instance of pissing me off. You know, like, it's things like that. Like, you really need to think about,
That's hard.
just have more well thought out decisions and be like, count the cost. I always say count the cost.
Yeah.
That term, count the cost, applies to us in so many ways. Count the cost of your decisions, count the cost of the opportunities that we get, count the cost of everything, and don't make any rash decisions just because you're upset or because someone cut you off on the way here. You want to be like, all right, we're working out for the next 2 hours.
We make permanent decisions based on emotional moments.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I can't live a life like that where all my emotions guide every step of my life. Mm-hmm. And as a leader, you'll find your team very sporadic or very like unbalanced in their flow because you are making you're making decisions based on your emotions, because I don't trust my emotions.
Yeah.
My emotions will tell me a lot of things. But when I take a step back and I look overhead, is this the smartest decision for our team? Mm-hmm. I have to go, am I even in an emotional place to handle that decision? Am I compromised? Yeah. Am I really hurt? Am I really sad right now?
And I think you and I do a pretty good job of like if we see someone crying and I know that I'm like already overstimulated and having anxiety, I'll be like, babe, can you just handle that? Yeah. I just can't right now. I literally can't.
It's a good thing there's two of us.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, if you're a solo choreographer, director, I would say postpone it.
Find a co-director.
Or put it off. Like, I've had to have difficult conversations with people a lot recently. And when I'm not prepared emotionally to make a decision, I ask for more time.
Yeah.
I ask for more time because I don't want to say something I don't mean.
Yeah, and then if someone forces you to have it sooner, then it might not be the way that you thought in your head because your emotions aren't all the way.
Yeah. I want to say the right things because my words matter. And if I say something that I didn't mean, I now make a life decision. This person will see me for the rest of their life like this because of an emotional decision that I said.
Yeah.
And I choose my words very carefully. And I think this is very important to a lot of coaches, that sometimes you just want to make a decision, you want to make it fast because it's what's easiest.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. You need to be tactical and careful with your words and how you say them and what you say. How you say them is just as important as what you say.
Exactly.
Your hair looks nice. Your hair looks nice. Right? Like, and then that pulls itself down into a bunch of, because how you interpreted that, you will tell someone how I just talked to you. And then they will tell them how I talked to you.
Do you actually mean that?
And that really spreads.
Yeah.
So lead with love. Like every conversation I have is, I look at the person and I go, okay, I have to love them first. When I love them first, how do I fix this? If I need to make a decision, I love these people, how does my decision affect the people that I love? Yeah. And by no means are all my decisions the best or perfect, but I know, like deep down in my heart, I wasn't emotional about it. I wasn't selfish about it, and I did it to care about the people that are sitting in front of me. And I think by any means, if I made someone upset or if I made a decision that was wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, and yeah, that's really good. And I think like something to kind of wrap this up is just to be receptive of what the people under you need. You know, be receptive to their emotions too, because dancers are emotional. People that you lead are going to be emotional. You're not the only one that has feelings.
You can't love everyone the same way. And we call it a love language.
Yeah.
And some people want like the aggressive, like do it again, full out, 5, 6, 7, 8. And some people need it's okay, you're going to do better next time. I promise, you got this. And you have to learn how to talk to people and learn their love language really fast. Because once you give them the way they want to be talked to or treated, you're going to get a better product out of them as a dancer and a coach, any relationship really. Yeah,
and just be really open to what they're feeling that day. Like sometimes we feel the vibes, and if people don't want to do anything crazy for rehearsal, we'll kind of take it easy and have a chill day. Or if they're ready to work hard, they want to work on tricks, they want to condition, like let's go.
We're servants. You know? Yes, I want to have a full-out rehearsal. I want to make the best rehearsal ever. But if they don't, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to do right by them, and by them, it's a chill day. And
if they want to add more rehearsals, which our playground senior team asked, can we have more rehearsals? So I'm like, yeah, I made it happen. So we're gonna have a midweek rehearsal. You have to be receptive. If they feel like we're practicing too much, let's cut back a little. If they want more, who am I to tell them, no, you can't practice more? Like, of course I want you to practice more.
Right.
We're in this for more than just, obviously, like the culture and the family and the training is great, but we also want to win. So if they want to dance more, I have no room to be like, no, we can't have more practice. It's just overall just being a receptive coach and being willing to adapt to their needs. And if they want to have a chill day, let them have a chill day. And if they want to add a rehearsal the night before comp, add a rehearsal.
Yeah, and if they come to me with issues, I can't close the door on them and make it about me. I can't make it a selfish moment. I can't go, oh, you guys are throwing all these emotions at me and I just don't know anymore.
Like, Auntie, we want more rehearsals. Well, I just don't have time for that.
Yeah,
I don't have time for you. I don't have time for my family. I just don't have time. No, I sacrifice elsewhere and I put it there. Whether it's sacrificing some classes, sacrificing time for lessons, I can find lesson time for private lessons on another day.
Count the cost.
Yeah, counting the cost and not making it about me, but realistically being receptive to what they want and trying to make it happen within our organization.
Do right, don't be right. Don't try to be right, do right. And lead with love. If I make all those decisions based on my emotions, the team itself will crumble. Lead with love, do right, don't be right, and count the cost.
Boom. We never know how to end these things. Plant.
Like, comment,
all right,
subscribe.
Let's go get sushi.
Oh, yeah, we're getting sushi. Comment, please. Let us know what you want to, this camera. Comment, please. Let us know what more you want us to talk about. Please like and subscribe. We want to
really
keep,
helps.
we want to keep doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun for us. But we don't know if you guys like it, and the only way we know is if you like it.
If you like it.
And comment on it and tell us you like
subscribe.
this. So please, if you could take the time, like 2 seconds, just to hit that subscribe button right down there and hit the like button over there too. Thanks for watching, and can't wait to see you in the next episode. Up top.
That was a clap at the end.